Hello, friends, and welcome back to the shop. Today is Sunday, September 28th, and the weather doesn't seem to know it's September because we're going to go up to 82 today. But hey, I'm not complaining. I'm just finding it odd. But hey, a good day to get a little bit of stuff done out in the yard and start to get everything prepared for the winter. Gonna thinking about maybe trying some winter rye this year just to kind of help the soil out. Haven't gotten the seeds yet. And also, I thought fall was when you planted roses, and we were going to plant a couple of new rose bushes. But we went looking for roses yesterday and couldn't find them. So I must be wrong about that whole fall rose thing. I should probably do more research. Anyway, before I get off on a garden ramble, I hope you're all doing well. The topic for today is I'm going to be talking about Rattray's Old Gowrie, the tobacco of the month, chosen by you, the Friday night live stream viewers. And yes, I still find it funny to say that. And yeah, we're gonna be having some of this, and I'm gonna have it originally a Scottish blend. I don't have any Scottish pipes, so got my Irish second out. My first Irish second. I've actually got a couple of these, but this was the first one I bought uh, about 35 years ago. So an old friend for sure. Let's set that down. I can tell you a bit about the tobacco. So it is a what would you call this? A broken flake, sort of, but it's more broken than the traditional than the Cornell and Deal style broken flake. So it's practically rubbed, but you gotta give it a little bit of a twist as you're packing it. The contents are it's Virginia. I think it's dark Virginia. Dark Virginia's dark fired, Kentucky probably, and Perique. I think I got that right. Let me just double check. Yes, Old Gowrie is a broken flake which combines dark Virginia's fired Kentucky, which I assume is the same as dark fired Kentucky, and a hint of Perique. It is pressed and then cut and hand rubbed, and it's considered to be a broken flake. And yeah, Rattray, they were blended in Scotland. It's a Scottish company originally, but they now are blended by K&K in Germany, I believe. Does it tell us where it's British collection, Old Gowrie, made in Germany? Yep. So Kohlhaas and Kopp. Doug Owen tells me that this is not the original blend. The original blend did not have the dark fired in it. It just had better quality Virginias, and you know, that's something we'll talk more as I actually get around to smoking it. But that's something about this that I was a little surprised by, because I've had this before, and I still have some of it that I have to dig out of my cellar to see if it was pre the German transition, because I've enjoyed it before. This isn't bad. I'm not saying that it's bad. I enjoyed it before more than I'm enjoying the current batch, and this is relatively new. I bought this at the Columbus show. There's no date on it, but I'm assuming this is fresh. So I'm going to load it up in the Irish second. And when dealing with tobacco like this, I just kind of give it a little bit of a twist to kind of just slightly rub out those flakes, and then lightly pack it down in the bottom. We'll do that once or twice, and then we'll top it off with a little kindling. So to do that, I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to take a little pinch, and I'm going to really grind that up just to try to get it as fine as possible on the top. Gives you something to get the fire started. Well, you Boy Scouts know what I'm talking about. Okay, that should be good. So, Eagles are off to a great start. The game last week against the Rams had one of the best endings to a football game I've ever seen in my life. But I'm not supposed to talk about sports, I've been told. So. So the initial light on this, it's very nice. I mean, the Virginias are, it is a Virginia blend. There's no question about it. And it's definitely that grassy barnyard Virginia. But there's two things I do not like about this blend. And surprisingly, neither of those are the dark fired, because I'm not a fan of dark fired. The first is that the matured Virginias just aren't, or the dark Virginias just aren't matured. It's got that barnyard grassy, but a little bit like tangy sharpness to it that I just don't like. Again, it's a personal taste thing, so I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not to my liking. But the quality's there. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm a little plugged here. Let's see if I can fix that with a pipe cleaner. You did not see me do this. I would never take a stem off while smoking a pipe. Terrible thing to do. Actually, the reason you don't want to do that is not that it hurts the pipe. It's that because of the you're more likely to break it. That's the reason you don't want to do it. Oh, that's better. And why I did it was that this pipe, it's Irish seconds are Peterson seconds. They were. I don't know if they still have them or not. Because I've never seen a Peterson that didn't look like it should have been a second. And well, I haven't seen a Peterson that look like it should be a second in the past 10 years. So I assume they don't make seconds anymore. But because of the way it was drilled to be a system pipe, and you just can't get a pipe cleaner through it. So that's the one problem with this pipe. But it smokes beautifully. Yeah, so Old Gowrie, you got that barnyard hay, but a little bit tangy. I don't even want to say it's not like a yellow. It's definitely a dark Virginia flavor, but sharpness to it. And I think they're attempting to mellow that out with the dark fired, or the fired. It's not dark fired. And I don't get any of that dark fired Kentucky flavor out of this. I'm not getting like that barbecue-y kind of thing, which is good because I'm not a fan of that. But if I really search for it, it's almost like an aftertaste from when you're smoking one of those Toscano cigars. It's just a subtle thing there. And it's probably only because I'm trying to find it that I'm finding it. I don't even know if it's real. And the retrohale has a little bit of that wasabi heat to it, so yeah, I guess there's perique in it, but I can't taste the perique. I only get it on the retrohale. So those are the two things that I just am disappointed in here. The Virginias are just not aged enough or not mature enough. And in terms of dark Virginias. So I'm not getting that like deep sweetness from them. And the second is that there just isn't enough perique for me. I can't find it in the flavor. I can only find it on the retrohale. Now, what Doug told me, and I think I'm going to remember this correctly, and Doug will correct me if I'm wrong. He said the original blend did not have dark fired, but the Virginias were either better quality or more mature. So they added the dark fire to, I keep saying dark fired. It technically on the tin says fired. So maybe he said they added that to compensate for the quality or the maturity of the Virginias. So I really want to dig out those old tins that I have and do a comparison. I hope, I don't know if I have one that's pre the German transition, but I will search for it. But having said all that, what I guess I'm getting at is this is not a blend for me. But if you're a Virginia lover, it's probably something you should try. And Rattray has a really nice line of tobaccos, several which I mean I really love Old Gowrie, not Old Gowrie, Brown Clooney, uh, and what is the other one? The Hallowind. Oh, I don't know. They have some they have some English type, you know, a lot of Kia containing blends as well. And I'm just doing terrible with names today. Marlin Flake is another very good one. So, you know, you owe it to yourself to try them. They're sometimes hard to find, but they're not unobtainiums, in my opinion. They might be hard to find in line, but online, but I often find them in shops, pipe shows, places like that. They seem to be readily available. Well, I shouldn't say readily available, but commonly available. So, yeah, as I'm smoking this, as a burley guy, I'm thinking to myself, gee, I really wish this had some burley in it. It just doesn't have the depth that I want. But it is in no way unpleasant. Um, you know, tobacco is very good quality. It burns really well. It packs with no problem at all. The moisture is perfect right out of the tin. A little bit wet for me, but most people would probably think it was about right. Uh, yeah, everything about this is just fine and good quality. It's just not what I want, which is okay. It's the tobacco of the month. It's rarely what I want. It's what you want. So this pipe, I've talked about this pipe before. It's about 35 years old. I bought it at a tinderbox in Pittsburgh. And I don't know if you know about Irish Seconds, but they were sold by Peterson as the second line, and they were unfinished pipes. So this pipe was raw briar, you know, buffed, but raw briar. Well, it had wax on it. Raw briar treated as if it were a finished pipe. So it was buffed, it was waxed, but there was no stain applied. And this is what it looks like after 35 years. And you know, there's a lot of misconceptions about the whole idea of briar coloring over time. You know, people think they buy these unfinished pipes and they think it's going to color like a meerschaum pipe, and the more you smoke it, the darker it's going to get. And honestly, that's not the way it works. I've done this. You can, well, you shouldn't do it, but you know, for example, if I'm refurbishing a pipe, an estate pipe, and it has to be topped, so I have to sand the top down. You can see that the briar in the center is completely raw briar. There's no smoke penetrates through the briar. Nothing ever goes all the way through the briar. You could take an ancient pipe and you know that's been smoked thousands of times and cut it, and you'll see that there's the middle of the pipe is absolutely pure, clean, unadulterated briar that looks just like it like a block of briar. Nothing goes through the pipe. The whole idea of pipes needing to breathe and all that is kind of crazy if you think about it. You know, moisture, air doesn't go through wood like that. If it did, boats wouldn't work. So, what does this color come from? Well, some people say, well, it's because the smoke surrounds the pipe, or it's that you're handling it, and you know you're transferring oil from you. Now, look at that color. It's a reddish brown. That color is coming from the fact that briar, like cherry wood, oxidizes over time. If you look at a block of briar that's been stored for a long time, it's got a reddish brown color to it. You take it to a sanding wheel and it turns not reddish brown, more of a light tan color. This is an old stummel, and not been buffed or anything, but you can see that sort of reddish color there. But if I were to sand this, it would very quickly turn to a more yellowish tannish color. So yeah, briar just naturally oxidizes over time. That's the bottom line. So that's what's happening with your unfinished pipes. Boy, I was not planning on going on that ramble, but there you have it. So speaking of pipes, I've got a nearly finished one that I can show you. Guys tell me they like to see the stuff I'm making. So if you don't like to see the stuff I'm making, I'm going to show you some stuff I'm making, and then I'm probably going to say goodbye. So if you don't like that sort of thing, goodbye. I didn't mean that to sound as rude as it sounded. I just want everybody to, you can watch what you want, you can fast forward, you can do whatever you want. So I was talking about spatulas I was making for a friend, and I did complete those actually a couple weeks ago. And I have a picture I was going to show you last week, and I forgot to show you. So I'll put that picture up now. And yeah, these are the two spatulas, and I'm happy with the way they turned out. They have been received, and the recipient is very happy with them as well. So it's always good to make something and be able to send it off to someone and to hear that they like it, and then they use it, And well, I don't make a lot of those, and I'm not going to make them by order or anything like that. It's just something I occasionally do. I like, it's kind of like what I hope pipe making would become, where you're sending something off to someone and they're going to use it. They're going to that spatula is being used maybe to make breakfast right now for somebody. But that's kind of neat that something I made with my hands is a part of someone's life now. And pipes are the same way. Whoever made this pipe over in, I believe it was in Ireland at the time, somebody handled this. Somebody actually polished it, looked at it, and said, this isn't good enough for us. Threw it in a bin, and it wound up at a tinderbox. It's hard to find a flaw in this. I mean, Peterson's quality control back then used to be excellent. But such is life. So, the other thing is, I have a pipe that I probably shouldn't show you unfinished pipes, but this is ready for the buffing wheel. It's just curing a little bit more before I take it over and buff it. But so this has not been buffed or waxed, and it is a billiard. This is billiard number 6. I'll just quickly show you. I'm getting really happy with the contrast stain that I've been working on. It's coming out quite nicely. I'm sorry, I'm looking off to the side because I got a big monitor there. I can see what I'm showing you. I'm going to try to focus on this a bit better. You see some of that bird's eye coming out. And these are not pieces of briar. Again, it has not been final buffing or waxing. This is not a piece of briar that folks are going to ooh and ah over. It's one of these Ebachon cuts, so you don't get any choice in grain direction or anything. But I just like grain. I've always felt that way. I don't care if it's perfect straight grain. I just like seeing details. So this stuff here, this flame grain, that doesn't bother me. I kind of enjoy it. So I think most folks would have rusticated this. And, if I was making it to actually sell, I probably would have rusticated it. I don't know. But for me personally, I kind of like it. So that's number 6. We got 4 to go. Very exciting. And it's getting easier, for whatever that's worth. So what's up for the rest of the day? I already told you I'm going to do some outdoor work, I think. And Eagles play at 1. Steelers are playing as we speak, I believe. They're playing over, got a Celtic theme going. They're playing over in Dublin. I think I got that right. Playing the Vikings. And I heard that Wentz might be starting for the Vikings. That'll be interesting. And the Eagles are playing at 1 o'clock, and they're playing Tampa Bay, both undefeated so far. But people are wrongly saying that they have the same record. They're both 3-0. But the truth is, the Eagles are 17-0 because they've won their last 17 games. Yes. I know it doesn't work that way, but it's very rare that an Eagles fan gets to be proud of the team. So I'm going to do it until I can't anymore, which will probably be in a couple weeks. So with that, folks, I'm going to wrap up. Hope you have a great Sunday. Oh, in summary, Old Gowrie. If you like Virginias, you should give it a try. I'm not going to rush out and buy a bunch more, but I'm looking forward to trying the old stuff that I have, and maybe putting the rest of this in a jar and giving it a couple years and see what time does to it. So with that, hope you have a great Sunday, and you're looking forward to a great week ahead. And until we speak again, I will look forward to talking to you all again very soon. Goodbye now.